Hey guys, Premier Thrills here, back again with another upload every 2 months. You already know we got the reward, best upload schedule on YouTube. I'm actually sorry guys. Anyways, today I'm making my top 25 coasters because I'm about to go on this trip that goes from Ohio to California, and I want to make this list now so I can look back on it after the trip. Keep in mind, these picks are controversial, so please don't get mad at me in the comments. And also, I'm going to be very brief with these coasters and point out their pros and cons because I already have some videos on these coasters. But anyways, here is Premier Thrills' top 25 coasters in July 2022. Number 25 is Candemonium at Hershey Park. This is one of my favorite B&M Hypers. It gives really good airtime, but what's lacking about it is its length. It feels extremely short for what it is, but it's still a fantastic coaster. Number 24 is Nitro at Six Flags Great Adventure. I really like this B&M Hyper. Has pretty good airtime and some positive G's in that double helix. And this once was my favorite B&M Hyper. But there is one thing that I don't like about this ride. And it's every single time I ride it now, it becomes more and more disappointing. It's just every ride I get on it now just keeps getting worse and worse. Like the airtime isn't as strong, the positive G's aren't as good. Something happened. But anyways, I still love this B&M Hyper. Number 23 is Incredicoaster, or formerly known as California Screamin' at Disney's California Adventure. All I have to say for this coaster is it's just pure fun. Every ride I got on it was just near perfect to me. Definitely get a night ride in the front row. This ride is just pure fun. Number 22 is Twister at Knoebels. I could not get enough of this ride back on July 13th, 2021. It had some crazy positive G's and laterals. I just couldn't get enough of it. And personally, it's my favorite wooden coaster in Pennsylvania and my favorite wooden coaster at Knoebels. Sorry, Phoenix fans. Number 21 is Goliath at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Whoa! You put this thing over two B&M Hypers? Yes, I love Goliath. This ride was just so fun, and the sense of speed in the front row was just so good. I don't really care that it doesn't have as much airtime, but I love positive G's, and this thing is full of it, with that downwards helix, or the two downwards helix at the end of the ride. I just love the positive G's on this thing, and it's my third favorite coaster at Magic Mountain. Number 20 is Texas Stingray at SeaWorld San Antonio. This ride is perfectly smooth, has a great twister layout, and is personally my favorite GCI roller coaster. Number 19 is the Incredible Hulk at Universal's Islands of Adventure. This is my personal favorite B&M looper because of the pure intensity this ride has. People underrate this ride so much. That Cobra Roll, Loop, Zero G Roll almost made me pass out because of how intense it is. This ride is packed with positive G's and is personally the most intense coaster I've ever ridden. Number 18 is Jersey Devil at Six Flags Great Adventure. I cannot get enough of this coaster. It is so whippy and so intense, and I love every moment of this ride. And yes, I have ridden Wonder Woman at Six Flags Fiesta Texas, and I say this is the superior single rail coaster. I know that is very controversial, but again, I'm a very controversial guy. I'm going to be riding Wonder Woman Flight of Courage very soon, and I'm not even going to be surprised when it's better than this coaster. But anyways, I love Jersey Devil, and that's why it's here at this ranking. Number 17 is Superman Ride of Steel at Six Flags America. All I have to say is give this ride a ride in the front row, and you will be absolutely shocked by how strong the airtime is up there, and also the sense of speed. The helixes, the airtime hill, and that straight track is actually really good in the front row. So that's why I recommend doing it up there, and that's why I have it at number 17. Number 16 is Accelerator at Knott's Berry Farm. This ride is just pure insanity. That launch, like with the D-bar, is just pure craziness. I cannot get enough of this ride, and I can't wait to get back here very soon. Number 15 is Mako at SeaWorld Orlando. I love this B&M Hyper. I only rode it 3 times, but every single time I rode it, I just had lots of fun on it. It gives so much floater airtime, and that's why it's my favorite B&M Hyper. Number 14 is Twisted Colossus at Six Flags Magic Mountain. This is personally one of my favorite RMCs. This ride has so much ejector airtime, it's actually kind of scary. And it has one of my all-time favorite inversions, the Top Gun stall. Even when it's not dueling, it's still really good. And personally, my favorite side is the blue side. Number 13 is Superman the Ride at Six Flags New England. This is my home park standout coaster, and I dropped it 10 spots in the span of 2 months. Probably wondering why. Well, I usually go off my last ride as my current ranking, and my last ride on it kind of tracked weird. It felt like the back row of Superman Ride of Steel. Like, it tracked terribly. But I bet that was just because I was in the back, and usually on these Intamin mega coasters, they track weird in the back. But anyways, this ride is still elite and my second favorite coaster in New England. Number 12 is Wicked Cyclone at Six Flags New England, my home park RMC. I love Wicked Cyclone. I cannot get enough of this ride when I go to my home park, and I am so grateful I have this good of an RMC at my home park. I've ridden this ride at its lowest low in the morning, in the middle, and I've ridden it at its highest high, last ride of the night with the wet rails in the back. I've ridden this so many times, and I think I have a really good feel of this ride. Every single time I ride it, it does not let down, and it is my favorite coaster in New England. Number 11 is Ghost Rider at Knott's Berry Farm. How can you blame me? This is my favorite CCI. This thing is relentless. The airtime is crazy, and its laterals are on steroids. Imagine Twister if it got bumped up with the heaviest steroids on the planet. That's basically Ghost Rider, and also with the Millennium Flyer trains, it's a really comfortable experience. Now when I go back, it might be a little rougher because it has been a few years, but when I go back, I cannot wait to wait another 3 hours for this amazing CCI. Number 10 is Anaconda at King's Dominion. No, if you guys actually thought it was Anaconda, obviously I'm joking, because number 10 is the fantastic RMC Iron Rattler. When I first rode it, I wasn't really the biggest fan because it was running very slow, but that last ride of the night in the back row was one of my favorite ride experiences I've ever had. It was just so fun, full of ejector airtime, and it has one of the best drops ever. With the first drop, and also that drop off the quarry wall is so good. This is one of my favorite RMCs, and I think you can tell why. This ride is fantastic and my favorite coaster in Texas. At number 9 is Skyrush at Hershey Park, one of my favorite Intamin hypercoasters. This ride's pure intensity makes it top 3 most intense coasters I've ever ridden. Sure, the restraints are really bad, but the ejector airtime on that drop in first Camelback is just pure insanity. I love Skyrush, and I don't even care that this ride has bad restraints and a rattle, because it is still one of the greatest coasters ever. Number 8 is Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion. I cannot get enough of this coaster. The ejector airtime on every single hill is just phenomenal, and those triple Camelbacks are just one of the greatest elements ever made. This ride is one of my favorite coasters at King's Dominion, and is my third favorite coaster in Virginia. Number 7 is Velocicoaster at Islands of Adventure. Listen, I've talked about this coaster so many times, I really don't feel like talking about it again. All I have to say is, The layout is phenomenal. The Mosasaurus roll is one of the best inversions ever. The airtime is great. I love the launches. Has a bit of a rattle. But hold on. There's 2 Intamin Blitz in Florida. Is it my favorite? No. My favorite Intamin Blitz is number 6 Cheetah Hunt at Busch Gardens, Tampa. I cannot get enough of Cheetah Hunt. I've ridden it 25 times now, and just look at the layout. Sure, it's not much, but it is just so fun. Go in the front row, doesn't matter what time of day it is, it will be fantastic. Love everything about it. The launches are super punchy, and I know people hate the restraints. I honestly love them. So yeah, this might be very controversial, but again, I'm Mr. Controversial, so yeah, I might even change my username to that. Anyways, that's Cheetah Hunt and Velocicoaster. Number 5 is Storm Runner at Hershey Park. I can confidently say every single element on this ride is near perfection. That launch is one of my favorite launches of all time. That top hat seriously gives some crazy ejector airtime. That Cobra loop is so weird and full of positive G's. The flying snake dive, the second part of it, is my favorite inversion of all time. And those last turns are like mini I-305 turns. Everything in the 22 seconds of ride duration is just near perfect, and it's my favorite Intamin accelerator. Number 4 is X2 at Six Flags Magic Mountain. I have to say, this is the scariest thing of all time. I only got one ride on it, and it just blew my mind. The backflip is crazy. The Raven turn just is so disorienting. Even though most of the effects don't work now, this ride is just near perfection. If you sit in an inside seat, it is glass smooth, and somehow an Aero coaster got in my top 5. There is nothing greater that made by Aero than X2 at Magic Mountain, and I cannot wait to return in a few weeks. Cracking the top 3 is number 3 with the relatively new Pantheon at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. I only got one ride on this in the back row, kind of like X2, and I was blown away. This is my personal favorite coaster at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, and obviously it is the standout. The reverse launch with that airtime hill in the middle is the craziest thing ever, and that backward spike in the back row is super extreme. I love that 95-degree drop, the 0G stall, and the outer bank. It's just a perfect coaster, and for me, it feels like a new and improved Storm Runner, except with an LSM launch. But we got one more coaster left in Virginia. Riders, start your engines, because number 2 is Intimidator 305 at King's Dominion. This is the only coaster that made me sustainably gray out. This ride is just pure insanity and is the most extreme coaster on the planet. Sure, I have not ridden Edge of Nika or Dododampa yet, but wow, this coaster is really breaking the edge of what's possible. But what's number 1, you may ask? Well, number 1 holds a special place in my heart. So here is number 1. After so long, I finally got back to the park and rode El Toro once again, my number 1 coaster. there's just so much about this ride that makes it my number one. First of all, that drop is the best drop ever created, ever. And each of those camelbacks give extreme doses of ejector airtime. And I've heard even from my friends saying that it's rough, but nah, this ride is perfectly smooth. It is kind of rough in some valleys. Riding in the front row in the morning, but then in the afternoon around 3 p.m., riding in the back, second to back, and you will be blown away. Every second of this coaster I enjoy, and I just can't get enough of the greatest coaster I've ever ridden. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This video took me 2 weeks to make because I actually made this video before and my computer deleted it somehow. So yeah, I had to redo it, and now I'm going to pack right now and go to Cedar Point at 4 a.m. tomorrow. But anyways, I will catch you guys later with some vlogs from that trip, and I'll try to upload more consistently. But anyways, that is Premier Thrills Top 25 Coasters. I will see you guys later. Try not to get stapled, because if you do, you will get no airtime. Later, guys.